Wow, we had a hell of a week for day trading attention here. There's so much going on, from DeepSeek to Instagram updates to craziness going on in social media space. There's so much going on. It's the Wild West. The biggest story is DeepSeek. We're going to jump into that. But first, I'm Kip Russell, creator with 1 million followers. I basically share on this channel everything that I'm excited about that's going on in the world of AI, social media, and digital media in terms of like growing your businesses, right? I'm a creator. I'm helping out entrepreneurs. I'm consulting for companies and media companies. I want to basically tell them how to grow their businesses and grow mine as fast as possible, right? And get through all the craziness of the economy and whatever the shifting landscape is. And right now, the biggest shift is in AI, and social is probably right behind that. The big story over the weekend was DeepSeek. China's, I forget the company's name, but basically launched DeepSeek, saying it was a side project of this big company, and that the training model only cost about $6 million, which is about 30%, I think, cheaper to use and run than openai. And it's comparable to OpenAI's first O1 operating model. So essentially, it's really fast. I used it all weekend. It is comparable to any of the platforms out there. It's really quick, and basically you can click a button. It shares like how it's thinking and gives you the rationale for the queries that you're putting in there. It's clean. It's got a nice mobile app. It's really good. But at the end of the day, it's just like TikTok, the same thing. It's operated by Chinese law. So if you're putting your data in there, it basically can like mine your queries, mine what you're asking for, all that good stuff. And even if you cancel your account, it can still look back at all the things that you did. So that's going to be the big maybe hurdle for it. But just like TikTok, I don't know if the average person in different countries cares. But this sent the markets into free fall. This sent the government panicking. Trump's weighing in. Sam Altman weighed in. Who else weighed in here? NVIDIA weighed in, basically saying, everyone's saying it's a positive thing, trying to keep the news positive. And Trump basically called it a wake-up call for U.S. industries. At the end of the day, we're in this battle with China, which is a bigger country. It has a lot of investment in education. It's been doing a lot of the dirty work for a lot of countries in terms of manufacturing. So it's getting all the secrets and insights, and it's been basically trying to like leapfrog and do all that. That's the competitive thing. So we're at this war of like staying ahead and being the number one in terms of innovation, America, all that good stuff. So this is a big moment, right? This is like where people are saying China's, not that far behind, and are we really leading? China's got drones going on. They got other things going on that are pretty high tech. Chips is a big part of this. That's why NVIDIA is weighing in. So I do agree. I think it's a wake-up call. I think now it's about bringing back the 80s, 90s vibe. We got to get all of our companies innovating, R&D, moving faster. I work in the advertising space. We need to be hustling, maybe buying businesses, learning how to grow them. But everyone's got to be like the best of the best nowadays. So you're going to see a lot more competition out there, people working faster, harder. It's a big moment. It's really, again, markets look at the relatively rebounding. I definitely think I saw... not the NASDAQ, which ones? One of them's, the Dow is basically back to, I think it's even up today, and it's Tuesday, basically January 28th. So a lot going on in the space. DeepSeek, going to be interesting. I'll be doing some videos about how to use it and different aspects of it, but definitely worth checking out if you're willing to give your data up. Second big story is there's a ton going on. Blood in the water, obviously, with TikTok, right? So you have Meta doing a crazy amount of things right now to basically try to win this attention war. So Meta is testing ads on Threads. That's one of the big updates. So Threads, which is basically, the Twitter competitor, hasn't really found its footing. I know they say it does. It's worth being there if you're a brand, business, or creator. It's almost free attention, right? You get a different platform. The algorithm's kind of all over the place. It's definitely not as important as a Twitter yet, or it's definitely better than Blue Sky, but not as important as Twitter, right? So at the end of the day, they're going to be testing ads in the US and Japan, so it'll be something to see, and then they're going to roll it out if it ends up being successful in the next few months here. Instagram rolled out a ton of updates. They rolled out a UI, that more simplified UI, and also the profile grid is now 4x5, so aligning more with the mobile video Reels first approach. So if you go to your profiles, you're going to see them looking differently, kind of slightly more like TikTok, and I think they just want it to be sleeker, better, and more set up for converting and pushing for creators. Speaking of creators, they're now offering a lot of creators a $300K for 6 months of posting exclusively on Instagram Reels, and if they post 25% more on the platform than other channels. Again, creators are ultimately the holy grail. It's why TikTok was so successful. It helped people like myself and basically newer creators get in the game with all the tools that they had in the app, and the algorithm, let anybody basically win. So it incentivized people initially basically just by views, and eventually shopping, and the creator fund, it incentivized us by making money, right? And it still has a leg up, I think, on most profiles. So Meta has been doing bonuses and little things like that for Reels lately, but really it's about creators got to make a full-time living. Like at the end of the day, YouTube's done the best job of this, and it's really, I think, who TikTok and Meta are chasing is really YouTube. YouTube needs to do some innovation too, probably better with shopping, better with affiliate deals and things like that. TikTok Shop is like an insane product. I've been playing a lot with it before the ban. I'll have to get back on it. But essentially, it's like you can post about brands that you love in your daily life and link out and get commission. You're going to see a lot more people doing that. And brands are going to have to change the way they understand that creators and affiliates are really just a part of your game now. Like you're basically, we're like Wayne's World wearing logos and brands of the companies we love and that are helping us make money. So you're going to see a lot more of that. I'm trying to think what else. They're pushing longer reels now on Instagram as well, 3 minutes, and they're going to prioritize those in the algorithm. At the end of the day, that keeps people on the platform longer, watching longer reels, stickier environment. Again, really all of them are going to be long-term competing for YouTube because that's where the ad dollars will follow. Creators and attention, daily usage is up, ad dollars will go there, more opportunity for inventory for ads. So this is the game. So the better the creator program, the better the training for the creators on the app to be successful, the more you're going to see those channels win long term. That's why YouTube's so set up for success. It's a great place to monetize. Harder to grow there. So people are, again, I think they have a whole shorts program and different things that you can sign up for now in terms of training and education. But this is where the business is going. You're going to see a lot of it. And I think with all those Meta updates, right, they even launched their new CapCut that we talked about last week. I think it's called, I forget what it's called right now, but basically they have a version of CapCut. It's called Edits, basically, for Instagram. So again, everyone's kind of playing in the space. Are we in, social media today basically said, are we in a major shakeup in social media? Are we in an inflection point like TV and cable, right, where consumers want more options? And that's basically because of all the turmoil with the CEOs and owners, right? You got Elon, people don't like his politics, right? So they're rebelling and going to Blue Sky or Threads or wherever. You got people mad at Meta because of the TikTok ban, right? They're blaming Meta for a lot of that, so they don't want to be on Instagram, deleting Facebook, all these little things. Blue Sky is getting some traction through the wake of all of this, but I'm seeing news now that like the whole thing is bots. I go there, it's basically just a very left leaning. So I guess it feels just like it's confusing, I think, and there's really no like, it's the same I think the right had in 2020. People went to True Social or they went to Path Social, right? They're trying to exile, pull the power from the big players, go to these alt networks, but the alt networks never scale to a point that's big. But maybe that's how it's going to be. Maybe it's going to go from, channel 3, 6, 7, 9 Fox to basically cable where there's 200 channels, and maybe you're going to get a bunch of micro social networks, right? You also have places like Discord and chat getting more popular where people can go to their small community. So are we at an inflection point? I don't know. Is the politics of the owners trying to stay relevant, too big right now? At the end of the day, it's just like, this happened in traditional media, right? You had people like CNN, Ted Turner, right? You had big names behind those brands, and I think the brands slowly phased them out, and it became more nameless and more about what they offer to the end user watching. Big stories, maybe Netflix is getting into streaming, right? So a lot going on in the space as people diversify. If you have the users, can you add different revenue streams, add different services and product and offering, with that continuity. So a lot going on in the space. I think that's crazy. On the lines of DeepSeek, another big story here is really took the gust out of OpenAI. Basically just launched operator mode. And this is basically a way that you can, it's really like the first phase of like, I think agents is the way I call it. I'm trying to get my terminology right, but playing around with operating mode is essentially, think of it as like the beginning of Jarvis, right? You can prompt it to buy you tickets to a game, prompt it to basically do your grocery shopping for you, prompt it to do. I saw someone do a really good case of like building a list, because operator basically can like read what's on your screen. You can prompt it. So if you have like a list of 1,000 people you want to reach out to, it can be like, look at this list, find their email, right, and then send them this automated email. So operator mode is going to start to be like Jarvis, where you can do a lot of things or train an employee, an agent, basically, to be doing part of your business operations. And this is the thing that I want to get the most educated on, because I do feel like it's the most powerful thing launched in a while. But like, how do you make this work for like growing your social media following, commenting at scale? Like, this is where the game gets crazy, right? So think of it as like you do outreach and emails, and then someone's like sort of like has an operator basically filtering out emails, and like you're building your role at scale, and it's prioritizing basically who you want to network with and all the outreach, and does it make sense to your business. So it's going to get pretty wild, as this is just the tip of the iceberg of all these things coming out. So I didn't feel like AI is going to be like Jarvis. It's going to be like your creative partner. You're going to have, again, they say one person, billion-dollar companies are coming in. Operator feels like the first step of like having a company, employees and agents all firing at the same time. In my world, I'm thinking of how does it help me with like waking up in the morning and my list of day trading attention show is already ready to go and I can make more videos faster and then I can have it do some different, editing and cloning. So a lot is going on in, again, the digital marketing space. These are really big stories that I'm paying attention to. I saw a really cool post. If you like the All In podcast, I thought something was really interesting that maybe is going to impact your business. I'm segueing here to another topic. It's called the Varian rule. It's like anything rich people have, and this was by, I think, Jason from the All In podcast. Anything rich people have, and if you're thinking about business as an entrepreneur or you're a creator or you're thinking about a course, the Varian rule is anything rich people have, if you can have founders, here's a little trick for you. Take anything rich people had 50, 30, 20 years ago, and now imagine everyone having it. And the examples that he had posted were Airbnb is your second home, your personal driver is your Uber, right? Waymo, eventually personal chef is DoorDash, right? Tutor is YouTube, trainer is Fitbod, Guma is OnlyFans. And then I saw some people weighing underneath that, bespoke tailoring. Could it be personal chef? Could it be advisor, banker? Could it be security and protection? Could it be concierge health? Concierge health feels like it's something that maybe is coming to fruition. I'm, more talking to clients that are trying to get more like a monthly fee for like VIP healthcare. And I know my parents used to do something with a heart doctor. You pay them like 10 grand extra a year and you get basically priority access. You get a cell phone number, all this stuff. So I think something interesting I thought, I'm like, man, this might be a good place to start for a course or a small business or testing and MVPing some sort of app. I always thought that banking is a great place. Like checking accounts are so basic. Why can't you have like an account that basically is already built to the automation to your 401ks, your investment accounts, and basically does everything much more easier, almost like a gamification of how you invest your dollars. And I think it could get there. Maybe people are working on it already, but I think there's some big spots there. I got one last little note, and there's a big story in the SEO words, search engine optimization, for you that don't know. And HubSpot, who's like a notorious marketer, great for content marketing, right? They're like the player in the game. Basically, people are saying, and this could be wrong, that their SEO fell off a cliff in the last few months based on updates and AI. And I disagree with a lot of the reasons. I do think we're at this inflection point that people maybe are just not seeing, and it's basically that search is really getting whacked. And people, I think there's a stat, 50% of searches are branded. So like people are really searching for things that they know or brands that they know, and that people are now going to DeepSeek, right? People are now going to social, YouTube, Reddit first. And I think you're in this big change. A lot of the big SEO people are saying search engine everywhere, right? People are now, the search engine is not just Google, it's basically diversifying. So I think what you're seeing along a lot of the businesses that I work on is they haven't figured out the media mix because they're overinvested in search and then underinvested in building brand, and people don't know who they are. So in these painful times, if you haven't put the moat around your business of a crazy organic strategy, right, valuable, now not just, I'm talking organic video, social, providing free value, training, courses, entertainment, whatever it is, the brands that are really, growing or muscling or squeezing through this business, not only are they good at what they do and have evolved their product with the market change, but they have a moat around the business of great valuable content that people stick with and that they know, like, and trust. You can think of this, even startup brands. There's a good, I can't think of the name right now, the sunflower seeds brand that has like 1 billion views on TikTok, and they're growing in this world where a lot of other businesses, CPG, are not, because they built brand, and a brand that people love and are passionate about. So I'm taking a step back here and saying, as people go to AI chatbots, and there's stats already that have shown basically, it used to be 99% of people searched in Google. Now it's like 70%, 20 search in social, and like 15% search in AI chatbots first, because they want different ways of knowledge. Google now, when you search, often the chatbot top of the page is the thing that's most important. Granted, you can link out to other sites, but most people aren't going to go much further than that. So you have zero-click searching. You have basically people wanting the information, not wanting to go to a site. So you have to make much more informative content on the web, longer, more rich, more real value. You have to give away the secret sauce, essentially, so people go to you and trust you. You have to do the same in video across tactics. And I do think if you do that now, all in pots on organic video, social, and especially if you're a challenger brand or a brand that's not as well known, you need to build that moat, and that's going to come from having a brand, and you can do that with paid ads too, but use your organic social, YouTube shorts, video part, find creative that really does better than normal, and then put those in ads to build your brand. If people like and talk and discover you that you have a problem solution value to their life, you can grow your business in 2025. That's my hot take. Could be controversial, could be totally wrong. SEO people are going to probably punch me, but that's what I think is really going on in this landscape, and you're seeing it in every business I consult with. You're seeing it. The business is winning. They have a moat around them. It's usually organic content and a really strong product. Hope you learned. I'm excited about what's going on this year. Excited to give you guys more content, and I'll talk to you next week.